Hey, Fiona. All right, guys, so we're going to get right into it this morning. I want to do a read and looking at the collective's finances as a whole. I really didn't want to start with tarot. I wanted to pull some oracle to see where we're at. But off the top, we're getting the pentacles here, 2 of pentacles. So communication brings changes, guys. So if you're needing to communicate or speak your piece on something, this may be the specific time. So we're going to set that aside. And we're going to look at this a little bit further in a few moments. Pull some oracle here in regard to the collective's finance. For some of you, you may be wanting to expand in your career or feel like you're wanting a change in your position at this time. You can pivot under any and all conditions. Life is always working out for me. And I am an attractor of my every experience. Let's do this because I'm going to have a lot of cards out here this morning. We're going to try to pull a full deck to see what's going on. There we go. So for some of you, you may be feeling like you are needing to make this change in your career or just in your finances as a whole, right? At the bottom of the deck, we also have, I can deliberately choose to feel better now. So some of you may be struggling a little bit in regard to making changes and feeling as if you're fulfilling your life path. I'm getting this energy of some of you needing to follow with your family business or something that was passed down generationally. For some of you, you work in an industry that just makes you feel very disconnected. It's not the most loving type of place that you're working in right now. You may need to reposition yourself somewhere where you're going to be more appreciated. It's like the energy that I'm getting is just this overwhelming energy of someone that's putting in a lot of work but not receiving what they feel is due to them. And maybe why we have the 2 of Pentacles that came out at the beginning. You may need to set some boundaries in place, okay? You may need to set some boundaries in place and speak your piece and saying what it is that you're wanting. Let's see what else comes out for the energy. Yeah, for some of you, you might be feeling as if, you know, victory came out in the reverse. But for some of you, you may be feeling right now like you're not really doing what it is that you're needing to do. But ultimately, you will be victorious in the situation is the energy that I'm getting. But you do need to start speaking your piece and making changes for you so that you come out in the best light in this situation. A lot of times we get stuck in situations where we feel like we cannot get out of these situations, but that's all within us. We need to sometimes break those chains and speak our truth. Again, the 2 of Pentacles coming out here at the start of the reading. Of all the cards that have come out, that could have come out, that came out first. So a lot of you need to start speaking into existence, but also to others about how you feel, and stop taking the lesser road of avoiding conflict, because for some of you, regardless whether you want to admit it or not, it's a conflict, right? Either a conflict within you or it's a conflict when you speak your truth, okay? And sometimes you need to speak that truth in order for you to get the abundance that that you're deserving of. With the 3rd chakra, Archangel Chamuel, a lot of you might be feeling right now like you're not fulfilling your destiny. Like I said, some of you have like a talent maybe that's been passed down from generation to generation. You really haven't been tapping into that. Or for some of you, it's a family type of business in which you're working in. Maybe it's your family's business, or maybe it's someone else's family business, but you've been really feeling like you're not focused, or you're kind of like feeling a little bit everywhere. All right. And you're trying to find a way to feel more fulfilled in your current opportunity, because right now you're just feeling like nothing is adding up when it comes to your place of employment. Let's see a little bit further. Let's pull one more energy card. Yeah. The fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel, came out in the reverse. There's a lot of reversals coming up here, guys. So that and whole just shows that you're just not happy where you currently are in your financial situation, in your stability as a whole, and ultimately that will affect your energy as a whole, right? It will affect your love life. It will affect everything that's attached to you. It will make you tired. You might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed, or like you have so much to say but you don't know how to say it. You might be feeling a little bit scared in speaking your piece in this present time. Okay. Some of you need to focus on meditating. I wanted to say Metatron. So you might have Metatron with you as one of your guardian angels, but specifically right now, it's an energy of needing to release and be honest with yourself. The physical ailments that some of you may be feeling in this present time are because you're feeling overwhelmed. Okay? You're feeling overwhelmed. So take a step back and look at things from a whole perspective, right? Stop trying to pick out little things here and there and trying to figure out why it is that everything, it's affecting you as a whole, right? Your finances aren't lining up because you're tired. You're tired because you're stressed. You're stressed because you're not happy, right? So what changes do you need to do moving on? And for some of you, it's showing here. For a lot of you, the majority of you, it's that you're not speaking your truth. You're not being honest with yourself. It's kind of like you're just going through the motions, right? You're going through the motions. You're taking it one day at a time. You're complacent where you're at, but you're not happy, right? You're not happy where you're at because you're feeling like you deserve more. You're feeling overworked. You're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling stressed, right? But you're not speaking your piece out loud. You might speak it within yourself, right? But you're not doing anything to make that change. You're not speaking what it is that you're wanting, right? You're not speaking your truth. You're not telling people, look, this is what you promised me. I'm not getting any of this. You know, what's going on? For some of you, it might be even down to a raise or doing the work that you're doing. Some of you are doing work that you don't even like, but it's a paycheck and you don't realize, or maybe for some of you, you do realize, but I'm getting this energy of someone that doesn't want to realize that they can make the same amount of money elsewhere doing something completely different, and it would open up a world of possibilities. And then for some of you, you're just bored at what it is that you do. The money's good, but you're just bored. You want something else. And because of that, you just hate your job at this present time. You hate the people that you work with because they're gossipers, or they don't put in the same amount of work that you do. And maybe that's the conversation that you need to have with some of these people, is like, look, you know, I show up every day. I do everything that's expected of me and then some, but yet I'm overlooked for raises and promotions. Why is this? And for some of you, you're just at that point in time where you don't want to even spend any more time wasted in expressing how you feel about the situation. You're just over it. You're over it, and you're wanting a new beginning. You're wanting to be somewhere brand new where you're not going to be dealing with adversity or dealing with blockages. Yeah. There's so much going on with you internally as it relates to your stability that you're past the point of trying to think things through. You're to the point where you're just ready to execute change, and you don't care what comes along with that. You don't care what comes along with that at this point, because you're feeling like you've already put in all the work that you needed to put in. And if they couldn't see your value up until now, then what's the point of you being there, right? What's the point of you being somewhere where you're going to be limited, or where you're just not happy? You've given it your all. Some of you are going through burnout. Burnout is a real thing, guys. If you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a financial advisor. Okay, I'm just relaying the cards for what they are. But if you're feeling burnt out, excessively tired, overwhelmed, you need to take the rest. Okay. If you're feeling too tired in the morning when you get up to go to work, take a day. Call in late. Your rest is the most important thing. Your mind, if it's not fully rested, you will not be able to operate or make any clear decisions. This is the energy of someone that is very overwhelmed, but wanting so much change, but you just don't know where to start. You just don't know where to start. Let's see what's coming out here in the tarot. Okay, yeah, for some of you, you're feeling like you're putting in way too much effort. Feeling like all of your effort isn't being seen, or like you're not willing to see things from a different perspective. It's like, it is what it is, right? I might as well just deal with the situation the way that it is, right? And accept things for what they are. Because if they're like this now, how is it that it's going to get any better? You might be dealing with people around you who are very jealous of you in the workplace, or people around you in general who know that you're being, that you're successful, and they're trying to make things hard for you. Be careful of the company that you keep. Be careful that you're not doing too much around your neighborhood where people can tell, even without knowing you, that you are successful. Is this energy that I'm getting? It's those small wins, yeah. And you have danger coming out here. It's those small wins that you may have, that other people, what you might consider a small win, other people consider it to be something that is over the top successful. You know, for some people, you being able to buy a new pair of sneakers once a year is success. All right. And not everyone has that opportunity to do so. Some people only have the opportunity to buy one pair of sneakers, you know, once a year, or, you know, once every 2 years, whatever the situation may be. But you need to pay attention to your, you know, danger here is you need to pay attention to your finances and make sure that you are spending on what you need to spend and not overspending. You know, the law of attraction talks about, you know, if you want to make money, you shouldn't have fear of spending money, right? Law of attraction, and all the different laws as well, they talk about spending of money, right? And that if you want to attract money, all right, you should not have fear in spending money. But I always like to follow up and tell people, yes, you shouldn't have fear in spending money, but you should still be responsible in the spending of your money, right? There's nothing wrong with treating yourself, okay? But your thought process needs to be in alignment with what it is that you're wanting to do. So for example, if you know that you're struggling financially, right? And you know that you have a check coming in, do not spend what you do not have yet. Okay. Yes, sometimes we're in situations where we can't avoid the inevitable. Yes, it is okay to go ahead and do something kind for yourself if you're constantly working, constantly paying bills, and you never have the time to, you know, spend any time on yourself or any money on yourself because you're constantly paying bills. You need to treat yourself as well. You know, when you look at your finances, are you putting yourself first? Do you put something aside for you for a rainy day? Do you put something aside in your savings and then something aside for you to spend for you as well? Or is it always bills, 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 bills? Or is it savings, bills, 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 and then you never do anything for you? Or is it that you're constantly spending money on meals in the street because you're too tired to work? You're too tired to come home and cook a meal and work at home, because home life is work too. It's those little things, right? So just be mindful of your finances and what you're spending money on right now and how it is that you're spending that money, because chances are that you are in an energy of either you're dealing with people who are very jealous of you, okay, and are looking at you like you have a lot because you're spending a lot on yourself. Or you might just be in a situation where you're having to, you know, you're starting from zero. So from the outside looking in, it looks like you got it like that, but you don't. So take it how it resonates, but the alert of being careful and being mindful about how you spend is definitely here. Be mindful about how you spend your money, where you invest your money, where you invest your time, all right? Because people are watching. People are watching. We have the lovers here in the reverse as well. So just be mindful of false connections, people that are around you, or opportunities in which you're supposed to separate from. All right. Sometimes it's a need for you to shut the door for a new opportunity to come in. Right. Or sometimes it may be you're on the right opportunity, but you just have the wrong people surrounding you. And it's hard because if you've made friendships with someone at a workplace, it's hard sometimes to separate from those people. But you know, if you hone down and you're honest with yourself, you'll find the right words to say and distance yourself, right? Yeah, you're gonna have to have the courage to be honest with people and tell them, look, I don't want to have um, lunch with you anymore, or hey, you don't have to tell people about what your financial situation is, but it's this energy of someone, having to put boundaries in place, especially in the workplace, because it's affecting your finances. There's something with people around you and you spending money, or people seeing you spend your money, right? And you're not being happy. It's almost like it's almost like you're in your feelings, you're not happy because of your circumstances, but you're using money as an escape route to overcome that stress and anxiety, right? You're using it as an escape route to overcome your stress and anxiety. But at the same time, it's not the healthiest choice for you, because at the end of the day, if you don't have a pot to piss in, then what are you doing? Right? You're working to give away your money, right? You're just sitting there and you're just waiting for things to work out. But if you're not making the changes that you need to make, right, to achieve your success, you're going to feel stuck. And you have a lot of abundance. You're going to be successful in everything that you do, right? You are the attractor of your every experience. So if you're sitting there down and out, feeling depressed, like, oh my gosh, woe is me, I hate my job, and you're not doing anything about it, or you're not looking at it from a different perspective, you're going to feel as if everything is just too much to bear, and you're not going to manifest anything but stagnancy. For some of you, you do have this energy of you're heavily protected in your finances. So whatever mental blockage that you're going through, this toxic environment that you're in when it comes to work, that has allowed you to become so closed-minded within yourself, of feeling overwhelmed. And when I say closed-minded, it's not like, oh, you're a closed-minded person, you can never see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that your circumstances have put you into a situation where you've been feeling overwhelmed for such a long period of time. And for some of you, it's that you've almost conditioned yourself, okay, to receive this type of energy and to be in this type of energy and to tolerate this energy, but it's not healthy and it's not normal. A lot of you are protected though, like you have ancestors looking after you. God is seeing this situation play out, and they are going to allow you to reach your goal of success at the end of the day. You just need to make sure that you're being smart along the way. If you're feeling overwhelmed, don't go out shopping just to spend, just to feel like, I need to get out into the world because I have no friends, right? Or the friends that I have are sneaky and I can't trust no one right now. I'm just going to go spend money on myself. No, you need to focus more on you and what it is that you're doing. Eight of Pentacles here in the reverse, as we were talking about, friends and being out and about. If you continue to spend the way that you're spending, you're going to put yourself in a situation that's going to be hard for you to overcome and get out of. All right? You need to be smart with yourself and what it is that you're wanting for you, right? You need to be modest in all of your moves right now, because your stability is there and your success is there. You're just going through a cleansing of a cleansing transition is what I'm hearing. A cleansing transition, and you need to speak your piece about what it is that you're wanting. For some of you, it won't even go as far as you speaking your piece and telling people what you want. You're just going to make the moves and leave, because you're in an energy where you know that the people that are around you are fake. You're in an energy of where you know that the people around you are opportunists, or you feel as if you're putting in work and your time isn't being valued, your energy, your ethic isn't being valued. So it's like you feel like you're being robbed. Okay, You feel like you're being robbed. And with the Six of Swords coming out here as well, it's, you know, you're leaving all of this behind. The Six of Swords represents a new beginning, you know, looking onward, moving on, and, you know, onto bigger, better, and greater things, right? You see how the fisherman is sitting there and he's pensively looking at the water. This is someone who has analyzed the situation for quite some time. Now, you've been feeling burnt out. You've been feeling exhausted because you have a lot going on. A lot going on, and burnout is something that it takes time to get there, but it also takes more time to get out of that energy. Sleep is important. Do not mistake your tiredness for, I just didn't get enough sleep last night. If you're waking up tired, if you're feeling drained, you know, look at that. If every time you go to do something, when it comes to making money, you know, you need to analyze your situation as a whole. Is this something within me that's affecting me that I need to change? Or is it something in my home environment? Or is it with the work that I do? What is it at the source of everything that's affecting me to feel this way? For some of you, you might even be feeling like when you sit down to work, or when you even think about work, you all of a sudden feel so drained, right? So if it's like your day off, right, you'll wake up and you'll have all this energy in the world, and you're like, man, I got less sleep last night than I did, you know, during the week, and I feel more energized today. It is your workplace. It is something at your workplace that is draining you. Energy is very draining. Do not underestimate the power of jealousy. Okay, you do not need to be rich, you do not need to be gorgeous, you don't need to be handsome. Okay, it's energy. When you have good energy, when you have a desire, a will to progress, to grow, be mindful that there are people who do not possess that same energy. There are people who are consistently negative thinkers, right? I'll use a klepto, for example. Someone who is a klepto can't help but go to a store and take something all the time, all right? It's a disease. People who think negatively have a disease. So if you are around people who are diseased, okay, or if you want to break it down spiritually, some people will say evil-minded people, okay, they will leash your positive energy off of you even before you become present in the room. You don't need to be an empath. You don't need to be a tarot reader. You don't need to be any of that for someone to suck you dry of your energy. For some of you, it's down to the people that you're forming relationships with, platonic and romantically. All right. If you spend 48 hours away from someone and you find that all of a sudden you have less mental fog, but when you come around this person, you slowly but surely, everything just feels array or a mess, even when you think of them, you might want to consider whether or not that person is a positive influence in your life, right? Because the energy that you keep is the energy that you will manifest further in your life. You are the attractor of your very experience. Regardless, through all of this, you're protected, right? But it's like if someone tells you, hey, don't go through that path. There's thorns along the way. You're barefoot. I don't want you to get cut. And you're like, oh, well, I'll be fine. I've had thorns on my feet before. What do you think is going to happen? You're going to have so many thorns in your feet by the end of that journey that you're not going to be able to walk anymore. And you're going to have to pick out each thorn. You're going to have to pick out each thorn. Keep picking out them thorns, right? In order for you to get to where it is that you need to get to, which is where you were before, all right? Maybe you do have the ability to go through this journey alone and walk through this path with thorns, and it might not affect you as much as someone else. But if you're knowingly going through a den of lions, be prepared. Guard yourself, protect yourself. You can't expect God and the angels' armies to do everything for you, and you just sit back and keep, dwelling in trash. And sometimes our mission is to go places and observe and learn and grow, even in the workplace, right? As a testimony to someone else. Sometimes it's just that simple. And then people question, well, why is it if God loved me, he wouldn't allow me? But it's a test, right? You give a lot to people, and which is why you're in this energy of action. But just because you're stable now doesn't mean that you will be in the future if you don't do the necessary things. You have a lot of people around you who see your success as something that you shouldn't have. Not because you haven't earned it, it's because they're miserable within themselves and they don't want to accept that they haven't done. Look, you're very generous. You have it twice. You have it here and you have it here with the bound man and the pentacles. You're someone that is willing to help people. You see how this beggar is sitting here and he's being dragged by the person in the fine linens? You're very giving to people, and which is why you always somehow rise above. For some of you, you don't even understand how it is that you rise above adversity. You might be like, wow, I'm constantly hitting rock bottom, right? But you know what? Thank God I never hit it. I never fully hit it. And you just bounce back, right? You just bounce back every time. And sometimes it even surprises you because you're like, well, damn, okay. But it's scary. It's scary. It's scary to be there and having to constantly rebuild. And for some of you, you're just emotionally tired of constantly going through this energy of setback and wanting to come out of the situation where you just want that stability in your life. The King of Wands here, you're wanting that stability in your life. You're wanting to grow. You've grown to a point where you're not willing to accept mediocrity in your life, which is why for your finances, you're okay with walking away from situations. For some of you, you might be building, I just got a bunch of cards here, but I'm not going to pull them all, but I was getting, for some of you, you may even be focusing on building a business for yourself or some type of side hustle, a legacy that you can leave behind for your children or even for yourself, to live off independently because you're tired of constantly giving and not being valued where you're at, or putting in so much work and feeling like, geez, I only make pennies on the dollar. But I know that if I were to do this for myself, I know if I had the time and the energy, I could get out of this energy of being around people who don't appreciate me, and build something even greater for myself. The moon is in reverse, as I was saying that, right? You know it. You know that where you're at, you're not fully living up to your expectations, right? You're not living up to your expectations because it's a block, all right? People are wanting so much from you and you're giving a lot. You're giving a lot as it is, and then it's never feeling like it's enough, or you're drained, overwhelmed, and then you have jealous people on top of like, oh, why wasn't I selected for this opportunity, right? But you do have new abundances of opportunities coming towards you if you want it, right? Some of you feeling regretful and even taking this opportunity or even accepting it like, damn, how did I get here again, right? But look, Ace of Swords, like I said, you become successful in the situation. It's like regardless of what is thrown at you, right? You know that you have people around you who are deceitful, who are doing things to use you and to come up, right? You're still successful above all of the situation. You are the attractor of my every experience, right? You're protected. You're meant to be in the sun energy. You're meant to shine. You're meant to be successful. You're meant to show people that through hard work and adversity, you can still succeed. And you are going to receive more opportunities to grow further if you just continue to put in the effort to grow for you. All right? I'm going to pull one more card. Let's see what we have. Which one? Some people want to see you fall, right? Some people want to see you fall. Some people feel like you don't deserve to rise up after your fall. Let's get a message of encouragement. That's how you know. It's sad, like they say that's how you know you're doing something right, but I think that's low-key, low-vibing energy. At the end of the day, we should all be able to grow equally, right? And have our successes. Set your mind on the things above. Colossians 3:2, for those of you who like to read the Bible. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. If you just come to God or Spirit and express to Spirit what it is that you're going through, how it is that you're feeling, and that you're feeling overwhelmed, and you ask and you decree and you declare over your life peace, love, joy, abundance, clarity, the spirit of discernment to see things for what it is, you are going to receive, right? Because it's here, it's showing here, you are worthy of this. You are worthy of this success because of your constant generosity, because of the way that you constantly give. You just need to continue pressing forward. Continue pressing forward because your abundance and your stability is here, okay? You got to keep attracting it. If you desire to feel better now and you take the time to rest and focus on you, you will get it. Meditate, focus more on you, right? As the deer pants for streams of water, so my soul pants for you, my God. You're wanting to be in a positive environment, right? God is our refuge. So whether you're a Christian, Catholic, Muslim, you know, whatever it may be, at the end of the day, we all look to a higher being, even if you're not religious. I'm not religious, y'all. Do I believe in Jesus and, you know, Abraham and all these different people? Yes, I do. Absolutely, I do. But I say it to say that when you're getting ready to enter a new chapter in your life, it feels like everything is falling apart, right? It can feel like everything is falling apart, and you might want to regress back to your old ways of feeling stuck, or feeling like, you know, how could I possibly become that person? Look at my life. I can't believe I let my life get to this point. But you know, if you're here dealing with people who are crappy, why not look at the caring connections that you do want? Why not analyze it from a different perspective, right? Because you can choose to feel better right now. You can choose to feel better right now, but it's all about your perspective. It's all about your perspective. Making sure that you're focused on your finances and ensuring that you are spending money on the things that you really need for you, right? And that you are putting it into the universe's ear that you're ready to accept these things. God isn't going to bless you with a new opportunity for you to make more money if you keep surrounding yourself around addicts and people that are, you know, draining, right? Life is always working out for me. You have to believe that, right? Life is always going to give you tips and tricks and turns, and it's going to be something new every day, right? But if you let everything that's going on in the world affect you, right, you're going to go crazy. If you were to turn on the news and sit there and watch it all day, you would get so overwhelmed. You'd be like, oh my gosh. You'd be paranoid out of your mind. And there's people living like that. But you have to allow yourself to get out of that energy of feeling stuck for you, right? You have to do that. So that's all that I have for you, beautiful people, today. Let me see what was going on in the comments. Absolutely, I do too, humility. Because I feel like, you know, you can create anything, right? If you create out of love and out of joy and out of peace, right? That's what you're going to attract to you. Now, we're not perfect, right? But God is God. Replace the old energy by new energy. Absolutely. You can't focus on the negatives, right? There's people out here who want to dim your light. You know, there's people out here who, you know, look at you and they're upset that you're even giving the message of light, right? There's people out here who are mad that you don't want to be in relationships with them, right? And will try to break you because, you know, you don't want to be their friend for whatever reason. There's something within you that tells you, hey, you know, I shouldn't be in this relationship with this person, but yet you continue to be in a relationship with this person. I don't know why I'm mentioning relationships. Maybe I should pull a couple cards on just love and relationships, but, you know, yeah, for some of you, it's a marriage. For some of you, it's a marriage that you're in right now. I'm not going to go into this because I wasn't, you know, planning on doing love, but it's coming out. So for whatever reason it is, let's see. Archangel Ariel, a lot of people might be viewing your relationship as like the pinnacle of success, or even so like a relationship that was kind of counted out, or maybe you were counted out. Your relationship doesn't have to be with a loved one, like a spouse or a husband or a spouse, but for some of you, you could be married, right? For some of you, you need to pay more attention to your relationship at home and stop worrying about what everyone else has going on outside. For some of you, you just work too damn much. You don't focus on what's going on around your home, right? Whether it's your kids, your husband, your wife, you're so caught up on what's going on at work, and you're so overwhelmed with what's going on at work. It's like you're not putting in enough love and energy into your home. But your home is your rock, right? Your home is your rock. So if you don't nurture the rock, right? How do you nurture your career? You need to, move on and grow within yourself, but don't forget about those who have been there along the way. For some of you, if you're going through a divorce, right? Things will go in your favor in this present time as well. Things will go in your favor as well. I'll pull out one more oracle on this one, just because it came out, but I'm not going to go into the tarot. Anything you are giving your attention to is an invitation to the essence of it. Saying I want money, but it will not come, is the same as saying come to me, absence of money, which I do not want. When you're thinking of money in that way, that will make it come to you. You always feel good. When you are thinking of money in a way that keeps it from coming to you, you always feel bad. That is how you know the difference. My attention to it invites the essence of it. So if you're sitting there complaining to your spouse or your partner about what's going on at work, and you're just complaining, and only focusing on the negative, you're never going to see the positive. Same thing in your relationship. If you're constantly focusing on the negative aspects of your relationship, you're never going to see the positive. If you're constantly going to people who don't even have a say in your relationship because they're not in your relationship, you're always going to do what that person believes is best based off of their own opinion, okay? Because our opinions are what drive our decisions, okay? And then we justify everything rationally after we made that emotional decision. So be mindful of who you're telling your business to when it comes to your money and when it comes to your relationships. For some of you, you're stuck financially because there's people around you who want to be in relationships with you who just continuously drag you down. You might be speaking positive in a relationship about your finances and everything, and your partner's just doing horrible. And instead of them doing the same and wanting to grow with you, they're just too busy with the woe is me type of energy. I can earn money by doing what I love to do, right? If you just change your perspective, this came out earlier about changing your perspective. If you change your perspective, things will turn out in a different light. As you practice your more positive, better feeling story, in time, your pleasure will become the dominant vibration within you. And then, as you couple your pleasure with your means of earning, the two will blend perfectly and enhance each other. There is no better way to earn money than to do the things you love to do. Money can flow into your experience through endless avenues. It is not the choice of the craft that limits the money that flows, but only your attitude towards money. If you're in an environment where you do not like the work that you're doing and you say, oh man, I gotta do this. I hate this part of my job. I don't want to do this. I never imagined that I'd be doing this. It's the worst job ever. And you have everything under the sun to say negative about the situation. What do you think you're going to attract? Every time that you walk into that space is going to be negative. My financial success does not require hard work. It's all about perspective. So that is what I have for you guys. I hope that brought you clarity. I hope that brought you guidance. I hope that, that resonated. If it did, let me know. If it didn't, please let me know too. I have something when I'm thinking to putting me in the infinity, something to powerful. Yep. Yeah, it is important to always manifest that way, humility. You're welcome. All right, my beautiful people, that's what I have for you. I'll probably be on this weekend to do some random free tarot quickies at some point. First come, first serve for the free, and then after that it is by donation. And yeah, I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I will speak with you soon. What time is it? I'm not sure, Humility. I'm thinking about doing it tonight. It just depends. It just depends. But when I figure out the time, I'll probably set it so that you guys could get the reminder. It'll probably come on this evening at some point, probably like around, I don't know, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Probably like 7 or 8 Eastern Standard Time. I'll put it up though well in advance, hopefully, fingers crossed, so that you guys can look out for it, because it is going to be limited as to who I do those free readings for moving forward. Yeah. And it will be first come, first serve based off of whose energy I'm guided towards. So